Okay. Okay, perfect. As I'm being told now we're good. So thank you guys for the heads up on being muted. So thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode of season 3 of One Shots. This one is the Bandit King. So I'm going to go down the line of our players here and let them introduce. So we have Goblin here playing Pablo Escobar. Why don't you tell us about him?
So Pablo Escobar is a foreign enforcer type. He's not big brains, but he's the big muscle.
Perfect. And Ryan as Sebastian Suave.
Sebastian's a bard with a shady past, but he's fine, fair, and ready for a dare.
And Daniel, why don't you introduce us to Garrick?
Yeah, Garrick was a former, let's say a hornswoggler, hoodwinker, and master of the gambits. So he ran a lot of gambling operations with his former mentor until he made a grave error that led to his mentor being thrown in prison for life. And it was ever since then he vowed to change his ways and be a better man and do things on the right and true and straight and narrow.
All right. And we're going to introduce the story here as our characters dive into the large city of Lyalisk. But everyone, grab an ale, prepare for a tale, for all are welcomed at the Banshee's Wail. So the three of you, behind your criminal past, have worked very hard in cleaning up. The three of you meeting within a jail after being caught doing crimes single-handedly. The three of you met up and instantly became friends. Garrick, primarily, pushing all three of you to do better and better yourselves and work in the name of helping others rather than taking. After a while, after leaving all of your home countries, you move over and find yourselves within the city of Lyalisk. The three of you worked and became known around the city, helping out here and there amongst the different guilds, whether it's the Druid Circle, the Slayers Guild, a couple other small factions. You found yourself finding friendship in one of the city council members, one of the 5, specifically befriending Jolt Neilbreaker, a dwarf on the council. He is captain of the guard and works with you. After a while, they ended up finding a problem. A Resimir had moved into a nearby mountain and was terrorizing many of the farm folk. They found out there were actually 2, and they moved closer and closer to the city and broke down the east wall. The three of you fought both of them off with the help of the guards and ended up slaying the beast. After meeting with the city council, they dubbed you as city protectors and gave you a state within the city, primarily to keep you there in case anything were to awry. Since then, they've come to the three of you with small jobs and tasks of taking people out of the city, keeping some factions out, and doing some work aside that, especially when monsters came by. Now we are on a bright spring day toward the back half of the year. The three of you are in your estate. So the estate is 6 bedrooms, 2 stories, very large. Each of you have your own room with 2 of the rooms being used as guest rooms and a study for Garrick. Pablo, you do a lot of cooking in the kitchen. And Sebastian, you have one of the guest rooms set up to your liking for when others come to the estate to stay for a night.
I'm sure Pablo Escobar does plenty of cooking in the kitchen. I'm sure.
The best cooking. He makes good Italian food.
So I will bring you guys over to the city to give you guys a layout. Your estate is marked with a star, and all three of your characters are on there. But to give you an idea of the size and markings for locations, you are very well versed in the city. You've been staying there for a few years, and you know quite a few of the main names in the city. Can everyone see?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it is not a small city. It is one of the capitals within this continent. It is a seafaring city with large fishing community out by the docks. You'll find the wizard community near on the upper portion of the city, near the graveyard. There's a few different religious organizations within the city, a few different churches. You'll find the Slayers Guild, the Druid Circle, multiple guard stations, as well as a main shopping square near the city. Your estate is directly next to the largest tavern,
As it should be.
as requested by all three of you when they asked where you would like. And just in the middle of the day, we'll start in the same way. Tell us what your characters would be doing right about now. So we'll go with Pablo. What is Pablo doing in the middle of a nice spring day?
Prepping pasta noodles. Eating dough. Just prepping stuff for dinner.
All right, so Pablo is working hard. Looks like started a bit early to cook a very fantastic dinner for the others. Has a few different things going on. And Sebastian, what are you doing right now?
Probably lazily getting up with a slight hangover. Sebastian parties hard and just kind of like stumbles around his room and just is like, why do I do this to myself every night?
All right, so you're on the second floor in your room. So the way it's set up on the second floor is 4 of the rooms. Your 3 rooms are up there for each of you, and the guest room that Sebastian uses. Currently, you're in the guest room, so you get up with that hangover ringing. You get up and find your pants, and you look back to the bed after a nice blackout. And you see a naked tiefling woman with bright red skin, horns that start by the forehead and kind of twirl to the back, with black hair, the sheet just covering her feet, and her tail drooped over the other side of the bed.
Must have been a good night, and I just like grab a robe and just walk out the door.
So you grab, you open the closet in that room, and you find hung there silk robes in different colors, black, red, purple, and a striped robe. Now, which one do you grab?
I'll grab the red one. It matches her skin.
You grab your robe, put it on, tie the middle of it, go outside the door. With the banister of the stairs going down the stairs, you can smell the food that Pablo's cooking downstairs. And Garrick, what are you doing right now?
Garrick at this time is in his study area, just kind of documenting the last couple of adventures that the party has been on, and making sure things are arranged for anything in the future.
All right, so Garrick, you're downstairs in your study. You're set up at your desk. All of the walls are bookshelves, including the ceiling, which is enchanted so that when you put a book up there, it stays, kind of defying gravity. You have a portion of the skin of the remoraz splayed out with its fur covering the floor. You use it as a rug.
Fine trophy to a wonderful kill.
All three of you hear a hard knock on the door.
I'll grab it. And as he just steps out from his study and walks towards the door.
Garrick, you leave your study and start walking to the door. Pablo, you kind of perk up and from the kitchen kind of peek out to see. Sebastian, you look down the stairwell. You can't see the door, but you're trying to hear what's going on. You open the door, Garrick, and you see a dwarf clad in armor with a cloth kind of cape over it and a large badge with the city crest on it. He's wearing a metal helmet that covers the top portion of his head, and his beard is down in mutton chops and then a thick mustache. You recognize him as Captain of the Guard, Jolt Kneebreaker.
Jolt, what can I do for you, my friend?
Good to see you, friend. The council sends their regards.
I'm sure they do, as they usually.
Indeed, as well as a new request. Are the three of you busy now?
I don't know. Pablo, are you almost done with the dinner, prepping the food?
He's just gonna look and grumble and go back to kneading.
I mean, we can be. I mean, hold on one more time. Let me just check. Sebastian, is your fair maiden left our presence, or is she still wandering about in your room?
I'm just like stumbling down the stairs. Stop yelling at me, all right? My head hurts. I need some coffee. I'm gonna go get some coffee. She's up there wearing red.
You're just gonna see a hand reach around the
like
corner with the
passion.
coffee.
Can you make that too, please? She's probably thirsty.
Sebastian, and could you please put on some undergarments under the robe? It's just I've seen that more than I care to see it.
Gotta let him breathe. After last night, gotta let him breathe. You're lucky. I usually charge for that.
Boy. Anyways, he turns back to the front door. Yeah, we can be ready soon. Why? What's going on?
I've seen you get ready fast. It seems there's a gang that's started up in the city and has actually caused some irritation. I can explain further details. Could I step in?
Yeah, come on in.
He steps in. You close the door behind. He is familiar with your estate, and he gestures his hand over to your study.
Yeah, come on in. I'll make up a chair for you. Would you like anything to drink? Refreshment?
No. I'm already 2 ales in today.
Of course you are. Wouldn't be a knee-breaker day if you weren't a few ales down.
A few more to go. He follows you into the study. You pull out a wooden chair for him and set it next to, on the other side of your desk. He has a seat. You see him roll out a parchment and lay it on your desk. You know formalities, but I'll explain so you don't have to read through everything.
Pablo's just gonna come through and set an ale next to Kneebreaker and a coffee next to Jarek, and then leave.
Thank you, Pablo. So what's on the task? What does the city need of us this time?
You see, as he's already bringing the stein up to his mouth. Oh, yes. He sets it down. So there seems to be a new organization that has started up under our noses. We are just now learning about it. They started a brawl, a couple of the members. We've learned of some of the others, but they started a brawl in a tavern down the ways. You know, the one ran by Azlaga, down the way by the port. They started a brawl, and my guards went to break everything up. They injured a few of my guards, and then fled.
Kneebreaker, I've told you, stop putting the rookies near the docks and where the taverns are. This is never a good idea.
It was actually 3 of my finest, which is why we're a little worried. Apparently they didn't stand a chance.
Interesting. Was there any record of what kind of weapons they use? Magic? Anything?
Their bare hands.
Interesting.
You can see why we're a little alarmed. Even the Slayers have a difficult time taking out all 3 of my finest.
Interesting indeed.
Pablo's just gonna peek around and be like, so it's a snow problem.
Pablo, not everything can be solved with ice. I mean, we've been over this at least a dozen times. You tried to freeze an open fire. It doesn't work.
Wrong kind of snow.
Well, okay, Pablo, we don't ixnay the snow talk around the guard A.
I thought you said that he had the problem handled.
He does. He for sure does. As he like tries to shoo Pablo away.
Well, let me know if you guys don't think you have the time for it right now.
Well, what is it? Does the city want us to just simply investigate and reconnaissance, or they want this problem solved?
They would like it dealt with, whether they leave on their own or forcefully. They have apparently caused a couple other issues. One with the wizard tower. Irigru, after questioned if he knew anything, did say that apparently somebody had broken in recently and stolen a few books.
What books were they?
He said they weren't registered.
Of course they weren't. That wizard never registers his good books.
I have the feeling he knows which ones, but he won't say.
All right. Well, it looks like we have a solid little mystery on our hands here. I'll gather the team and we'll be on the move soon.
Yes. Not listed on the document there, but I do have some of the appearances. One of them was a large man with long brown reddish hair. He was wearing a fur coat with the sleeves ripped off. They said he stood a little over 6'4", large frame. He had a smaller gentleman, an elf, with him. Looked like a wood elf, from what we were told. He had a hood on and moved very quickly. He actually dealt a lot of the damage to 2 of my guards. And then the woman who didn't get involved, but she had bright red hair and had a presence stronger than the other 2.
All right. Thank you for your time, Kneebreaker. We appreciate you.
Of course.
And Garrett calls out to Sebastian. Sebastian, we have a new case, and there's a woman involved.
Just like slowly shuffling up the stairs with 2 things of coffee. Oh, fascinating. Oh, can't wait to hear more about it.
As you say that, you hear from upstairs, Sebastian!
Thank you. I'll be there soon, sweetie. Just shuffling slowly down the hallway. Back to my room.
And as you go up the stairs, you see the door to the guest room open up, and she steps out fully clothed and walks past you. You hear her hooves clack on your floor as she steps to you. Seems like a little louder than necessary. She snags one of the cups from your hands and says, "Thank you for last night."
'Twas my pleasure.
"And thank you for this. See you later." And she starts walking down the stairs.
What did she show me?
Pablo's just gonna stick his head out and just like grumble and like gesture towards the coffee.
It's quite good.
I'll have him return it next time. And she starts walking toward the
He's
door,
just gonna
sipping
go
on
like
it.
this.
I mean, a cup of coffee is not bad. I guess I'll go get changed for our daring adventure.
He's just gonna look at Sebastian and be like, "Oh, new mug."
I just give you the thumbs up.
Jolt stands up out of the chair, Garrick, and says, "Well, I see you might have some things to arrange, but please report back to me if you run into any trouble. I did let Aslega know that you might be stopping by to question about that night."
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and we'll report back as soon as we know things.
And then on the map, for you guys to know exactly where you are, by the main square with the bag representing the merchant square, there's a tavern to the northeast, and next to that is a star with all 3 of your character tokens there.
Okay.
That way we can keep track of where each of you are in case you go different ways.
All right, so I gather with Sebastian and Pablo in the kitchen while Pablo, I'm assuming, continues to knead dough, just to kind of discuss the same things that were just told to me by Kneebreaker. So it seems like we have a problem with this new gang uprising. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to check out the tavern, but it also would behoove us to go check out the wizard and see what books were taken. Might have an idea of what they're up to.
Well, I can handle the tavern quite easily. I'm not so smart. Words elude me sometimes.
Well, if you and Pablo wish, you guys can check out the tavern, and I'll head over to the wizard and see what he'll give me.
Seems like a fine idea to me. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, splitting up never seems to go well for us, but let's make that mistake one more time.
Or we can all go together. It's... Pablo, what do you think?
Suave shouldn't be left alone. Suave seems to be the one to almost get killed most.
I don't need a babysitter. I'm a grown man.
Okay,
As
Sebastian.
he says that, he swings his arm out and his robe kind of opens up a little bit.
Sebastian, I've already asked you so nicely. Please put some underpants on.
You're the one that called this meeting down. I was gonna change, and you were like, "Oh, we have to talk about what's going on."
But you couldn't have just put some. You could have put clothes on before you came down first.
'Tis the finest silk. Why would I have to wear anything underneath it?
Why?
Pablo is just gonna take his cup of water and just throw it at him. Like throw the water out at Sebastian.
I'm gonna try to dodge it.
Close.
Sebastian, roll me an acrobatics check at disadvantage, as it was a surprise. Pablo throws the cup of water. You go to step back and you slip on some other stuff that was left on the floor recently from you, and you slip forward and actually step closer to the cup, and it splashes you in the face as your hair gets soaked and starts sticking to your robe.
Heathens, but I feel refreshed. Fine, I will go put on my finest attire for this adventure. I just like storm out of the kitchen.
Nice one, Pablo. Good aim, as per usual.
Needed cold shower.
Couldn't agree more. All right, I think we should go. Let's go check in on our wizard friend and see what we can find. We usually have a way of negotiating.
All right. So, Garrick, are you gonna go by yourself, or who's all going?
I extend the invite to both of Sebastian and Pablo if they wish to come with me, or if they wish to venture to the tavern.
Well, I can't be left alone according to you two, so I'm going with. Just stomping up the stairs.
Pablo's gonna start putting like the dough and like the bowls and stuff to put in the fridge, and just be like, "Gotta follow boss."
Before we leave, I head back to the study to maybe grab a few tomes or anything the wizard might be interested in bartering with, if that so necessarily needs to be done.
So you walk into your study, and in the far corner of the room, on the floor, you have a circular disc that sits there. You step onto it, and it levitates up, and you follow that, and it moves with you, and you go up to the ceiling on the bookshelf, and you turn going parallel to the floor and reach onto the bookshelf and kind of filter through. You have a few magic tomes going over different magic, and one of them is a story, a children's story, but it's the only volume ever made for it. You believe it has the location to a magic item involved in the story, but you have yet to break the riddle in it that'll tell you where to go first.
Okay.
One of the other ones, one is for interdimensional travel for dummies. The third is Dragon Spells and Anatomy, which was signed by, where was his name? A famous wizard by the name of Onset.
So, as much as it pains me to grab this book, it's an autographed copy, but I haven't solved the riddle yet, and he's already read in Interdimensional Travel for Dummies. So I grabbed the dragon signed copybook.
Okay. You put that into your satchel, as well as after you go back down, you go to your desk and you retrieve the parchment that Jolt had brought to you.
Mm-hmm. When I pick up the parchment, do I read anything in there or see anything in there that maybe Kneebreaker had not told me, or anything that he might have missed?
Yes, you look down at the bottom of the parchment and you see the reward offered.
Which is?
Let me message it to you.
Are you messaging via Discord or the?
Yeah, via Discord.
Okay, let me pull that up again.
Just sent it. It's up to you if you would like to discuss that with the others.
Okay. So I head back into the main room and shout for Sebastian and Pablo. Sebastian, Pablo, are we ready?
I'm putting pants on. Leave me alone.
How long does it take you to put pants on?
I have to dry off because someone soaked me.
Are you wearing your
showered,
flirting
man.
pants again? Are you wearing your special pants again?
Well, that's the only way we get the best deals on stuff. So,
All right.
and I come
Pablo?
I
just
mean,
trotting down the stairs.
Pablo's just gonna take off his tiny little apron and hang it up, dust his hands off, and be like, "Yes."
And what do these special pants look like?
They're just very finely cut, just the best money you can buy, like silk pants. They're like a dark red with like gold embroidery on it. It's almost super lame, but Sebastian can pull it off.
So the two of you watch, ready to go as Sebastian comes down the stairs. You see his special pants. So he has his normal shirt and vest on, wearing his blue hat, his favorite one, with a red feather that comes out of it. Same color matching his pants. Fine silk boot cut, so they open near the bottom, but they get tight up to the waist. On there is gold trim that runs up the side of the pant legs, but all of the lines meet to the center of the groin area where it's just gold embroidering.
No subtlety, huh?
I'm sorry, what guest did you have today? Some dwarf? Yeah, you saw that tiefling leave.
Well, look what this dwarf is offering us, and I hold up the parchment to show them what the reward is.
You read through, and you know this is a high reward from the council. They offer you access to the treasury and to select 2 items from it.
This is
there to
quite the
be
big
some
payoff for us.
high magic items in there.
Dwarf gives things. Tiefling steal mugs.
Yes, but she didn't steal my heart.
I'm sure you stole
Mug is more
hers.
expensive.
She did say she wanted a simulator, so, there could be a second evening.
Oh, bother. Well, let's be on to the wizard then.
Indeed.
All right. So the 3 of you walk through the city. The wizard tower, I will just highlight over the map real quick. Does everyone see it marked by the wizard hat?
Yeah, it's kind of by that spiral.
Yes, which
Okay.
you know as the portal tower. You can pay a fee to take a portal to any of the other major cities. So what
Kind of
route,
like a House Moving Castle Magic Door situation.
basically. And what route would you guys like to take to get to the wizard tower?
I mean, is the bar the tavern where it went down closer than the wizard tower? We can stop there first and make our way around.
So you know that there's only one road that leads up to the high part of the city up on the mountain to get to the wizard tower, which is over here. The tavern by the dock that was referenced, which is owned by Uslega, is right here. So you'd have to go in an opposite direction to get there.
It's just a bottom loop around, no?
Good. It would make it a longer travel if you wish to go to the tavern first, but you discuss that with your friends.
Pablo, do you want to go somewhere different?
Because I was looking at the roads, and there's the one that goes up through the cemetery and then around.
Oh, yes. That there is a road that goes up there. You know it's primarily stairs that just go up the side of the mountain, almost a full vertical path up. You know it sucks to walk up, but it does shorten the route if you would like.
Pablo, I don't like the stairs. You know they're terrible.
And that's why your ass is flat.
Listen, you're hungover,
Pablo's
so I'd
just
love to
gonna,
see you
like,
walk up
flex.
those.
Pablo's just gonna be like, could carry. And like
All right.
flex.
Oh,
All right,
that's so
fine,
kind of
Pablo.
you, Pablo, for you to carry me, because I'm ill.
All right, fine, Pablo. We'll go to the tavern first.
Yes, some hair of the dog.
Oh no!
I'll
This
even
is-
buy the first round.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be the only round you buy.
Oh, you're offering another round? That's so sweet of you.
Oh. And we're off.
All right. Tavern is right here. What street do you go through? The market square and take the route down from there, or do you take the side route going through some of the housing district?
Well, I say we pass through the market district and see if we can't see any suspicious activities happening for the day.
All right. So the three of you, head over to the market district. You walk out from your estate and follow the path down to the road. You make a right and walk past, and you pass the tavern right there, known as Future Bloom. On there is the tavern sign. It hangs off the roof, very large, kind of almost where you can't even walk down the street without it just going overhead. It's a flower, a daisy, but in the center is an eye that is open. You know the owner there, Kremsol. There we go. A hobgoblin who opened up the tavern, spread the name amongst the town. You know what goes on a normal day. You know, underground through a to know basis is a passage that goes underground to a gladiator pit. You walk past there and head to the market, which seems to be bustling right now. Many people, carts going through. You walk through and you see one of the stall owners that you're very familiar with, Aristraz. He is a green dragonborn, has a large belly, and wears a pair of small spectacles just over his snout. He deals in magic items. You can see him haggling with a gentleman, a human, wearing fine clothes. And the guy just waves off, puts his head up high, and steps away from Aristraz. He shakes his head and looks over and notices the three of you entering into the market. And you hear him shout and wave at you. Hello!
Is it Aristraz was the one waving at us?
Yes.
Well, hello, old friend. How are you?
Doing great.
I see the bartering did not go to your care.
He was trying to get it for a steal.
What was he selling? Or buying, I guess.
He was trying to buy my dragon hourglass.
Were you selling it for a reasonable price?
I mean, an upcharge. It was hard to acquire. And what more to tell time in all dimensions?
I guess that makes sense. So have you noticed any peculiar activities in the marketplace today?
Oh, plenty. But anything in particular?
Well, there's some rumor of a new upstart that has been causing some mischief about the town. Any information on that?
Ew. I think I know what you're talking about. The gang ran by the handsome gentleman. What were they calling him?
Sebastian. They were calling him Sebastian.
I think you found your culprit. No, they called him the Bandit King.
The Bandit King?
Yes, it seems as though when they arrived, you remember that small gang referred to themselves as the Swarm that was disbanded about 2 months ago?
I remember.
Well, a little hush-hush. I found out recently he killed all of them by himself.
Interesting. So he's no pushover.
No, apparently he went into their base, which was ran by a few of the houses, as you know, we all knew. Just walked in, unarmed, and killed all of them.
Does he use his bare hands, or is he a magic caster?
Bare hands.
He must have a lot of free time on his hands, if you catch my drift.
Probably less than you. I'm surprised you're up and awake. Let me guess. Small hangover, Sebastian?
Very small. Just barely there.
And so was the waist of the woman?
Stole my mug.
A gentleman never reveals his secrets. I don't kiss and tail.
As a
How
matter,
a tail, you dog.
as a matter of question, actually, do you have just a plain coffee mug that we could purchase from you today?
What do I look like? Riff-raffed? I have some fine coffee mugs, though.
Of course they're fine. Let me see them.
He lays out 3. One of them is entirely made out of sapphire, with a handle that comes out, and it looks like a mermaid tail that just wraps around. The other is white with gold lace around the rim of it, but it's tall. And then another, which is made as a very small coffee mug, but some sort of wood with an iron-bound crest hammered into the mug.
Pablo, do any of these strike your fancy?
He points to the lacy one.
How much for the lacy one?
That one in particular will run you. I like you. What do you say? 10 gold.
All right, I won't argue about it too much today, my friend. That'll do fair for me.
You're busy, I see.
A little on the move. Want to make sure that we get things taken care of before they become too much of a problem.
Lovely. Well,
Don't want it to snowball.
Oh, Pablo.
Are you here for another purchase?
No.
Not today. Understood.
Still have some from last time.
What's a snowball?
Oh, are you cutting back?
Not too many fights.
Gotcha.
Might be more soon, though.
Well, I know apparently, from what I've heard, there was a brawl at the tavern near the dock.
That's what we've heard as well.
A few people did say that the larger gentleman was quite enamored. And when they left, they headed toward the port.
Interesting.
But that's all I know. I would go down there and they'll probably have more details if that's what you're looking into.
It could be. Thank you, friend, for your time. We appreciate you as always.
Of course. And do let me know how that mug tickles your fancy.
He hands the mug over to Pablo.
Pablo just kind of and then reaches into his bag and grabs out some fresh bread and hands it.
Ooh. I'll save it for later. He bags it up and puts it under his desk. Oh, and would you be interested in a new item I've acquired?
Let's hear it.
He goes down into his stall, down to the stall. He keeps things under the stall that aren't normally for sale. He goes down and you hear, as he slams his head on it, ow! Sorry. And he comes out, and from under the stall, much larger than under the stall is, he pulls out a sword that stands at his height.
Wow.
Yes, it seems like it had been taken from a dragon's lair, from what I was told when I purchased it.
It's not all about size, by the way, my good man. It's how you use the sword.
Yes, as you have told me many times now.
Bigger swords have mightier blows.
The sword has a pure black handle with no guard to it, just coming off of the blade. The blade is a dark gray steel with the center divoted in, almost carved out, and it comes to a point at the bottom. So not meant necessarily for cutting, but the edges are also somewhat blunt.
Can I investigate it?
You know I don't let you play before you purchase.
Put like 1 gold like coin down just to look at it.
He
I'm making
reaches
lasagna
over.
tonight if you want to come for dinner.
He looks over at Pablo and hands the sword over to Sebastian. But I'm taking this. He puts a finger out and his dragon nail. He just like puts it on and like slides the coin back. But I'll be there for the lasagna. Sebastian, as he hands you the sword, you reach out with both hands and he puts it by the blade into your hands and it just drops. You catch it before it hits the ground, but it's heavy, like absurdly heavy.
It's quite heavy. Not saying that I don't work out or anything, but even for my masculine frame, I'm just like struggling, like keep it up off the ground.
Well, when you're only used to swinging around small swords, I'm sure it makes sense.
I just glare at him.
Well, how does it feel? Does it feel good?
Not for me, maybe for Pablo, but not for me.
What can you tell us about this blade? What are its properties?
Oh, yes. So it was found in a dragon's hoard. From my understanding, it loves battle. That's what the seller told me. It loves battle and hungers for it. He said he was tired of it talking into his ear.
Interesting.
That's all I've been told. I just acquired it earlier today. I haven't been able to run my usual tests on it.
You always acquire the most interesting of items.
You know you always come here for the special things.
It's very true, my friend.
That's why you get invited to dinner.
Pablo,
I'm clearing my schedule out.
Pablo or Sebastian, have either of you any interest in this blade?
I'm just like heaving under its weight. No, I'm good.
Pablo's gonna try and just like grab the hilt and like pick it up like this, just straight up.
You grab it by the hilt while Sebastian's still holding it up, looking like he's trying to military press it, but just keeping it there. You lift it, and when you pick the hilt up, it slides out of Sebastian's hand, and the tip of the blade hits the ground and starts sliding as you try to lift it, but you can't actually lift the point off the ground.
It doesn't hit me at all, does it?
No, you just kind of drop it forward. You take a second and grab it with your other hand to try and pick it up. Roll me an athletics check. You grip it and are unable to twist the blade all the way around to lift it up, but you maneuver your body, and with your body weight, shrug it up and hold it high. You're able to pick the sword up. It is absurdly heavy, and as you do, you hear a whisper in the back of your head. Battle.
I like it.
How much for the blade?
I think you'll be getting it for a steal. I'm sure there's some properties that I'm unaware of, but we'll say 200.
I get up off the ground like pop a button. You can't go lower.
Continue.
Dinner for a week.
180.
I'll feed you for the month.
Roll a persuasion check.
Could it be with advantage because we helped lower it down?
You didn't tell him what all of what you were looking for. What you were offering, Sebastian.
I popped the collar. I popped the button. Your sword almost killed me when you lifted it to me.
And I'd have charged you for getting blood on it.
There's no blood on it.
Not yet. Fine. 170. But I get a double serving of lasagna tonight. As well.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty square deal.
Yeah.
Coin purse feeling a little light.
I have 110.
I'll put down 20. Actually, I'll put down 30.
So Garrick looks. So we have what 150 on the table right now? 140.
Yep.
I lean over and I say, friend, you know you owe us from the last incident that we kept very quiet.
You said you'd never speak of that.
I did, but I don't know. Maybe I could be persuaded by certain outside measures.
You blackmailing me, Garrick. 'Cause I love that deal. Fine, shut your mouth. He slides all the gold. Take this sword, but you bring it up one more time, I swear your discount is gone.
Fair enough, old friend. Hey, maybe I'll see you for a chance of some dice rolling in the alleyways later.
Ooh. We'll go
If
to...
I'm out of money, I can't buy more snow.
Well, I hear you're on a job, eh?
For things.
Things you can sell. But we'll talk later. There's a line behind you. And you look back and there's actually 4 people lined up behind you.
Well, we'll be seeing you, good friend.
For lasagna.
Yes. Best of luck. Yes, I will be there tonight.
So we move on towards the tavern.
I'm having
Alright.
fun with this.
With your new sword.
You on the strap of your leather vest that you wear, Pablo, you have a spot that you currently hang an axe on, and you take that down and hang it on your hip, and you put the sword on your back, and for a second it pulls you back, but you lean forward and get your bearing.
So, what was the thing that you blackmailed him with, my good man?
Well, let's just say He owes me for a game of chance from a few years ago.
Interesting. You didn't strike me as the gambling type.
No, it's was quite a problem back in the day. But it still has its ties and perks to this day.
It would seem so. Pablo got a new shiny thing.
It seems like a good kind of killing shiny thing, and Pablo's quite the excellent killer.
Yes, with those rippling biceps.
He's just gonna flex.
Yes. It's all that kneading of the dough. Good hand muscles.
All right, so you make your way down to the tavern.
So I just see Mark just shake his head.
Yep. That's literally. I'm just.
You make your way down to the tavern by the port, owned by Uslega Hudor. You're familiar, and Pablo, very good friends with her. She is a very stout human woman. She keeps a short bob cut of auburn hair. She always wears purple lipstick. She's a little heavier set, but has beaten Sebastian in arm wrestling 80
Pablo's
times
gonna be
now.
picking up wildflowers on his way over there.
You pick some wildflowers and kind of create like a little bunch of them in your hand as you walk up to the tavern. You get the smell of the sea as you get closer to the port side. You can see a few people walking out of the tavern, and on the door you see a rat carved out, a silhouette that's upside down, and the name of the tavern, the Drowned Rat.
Well, she's not. I've told her a million times she should change the name from the Drowned Rat. It attracts all sorts of ne'er-do-wells.
It's a great name.
Sebastian has his head hung low, like before entering, just knowing that he's been beaten arm wrestling so many times.
Sebastian, are you going to go for 81 losses in a row tonight?
I think 80's fine. Just having like flashbacks.
Cue montage of just like slamming through tables and like
Yeah.
goosh, goosh, ah.
Pablo's just gonna like beeline to inside.
Oh, there goes
So-
Pablo.
The last person of the group walking out from the tavern leaves, and the door begins to swing closed. Pablo walks up to it and flings the door open. You hear it kind of slap the back side of the tavern, and Pablo runs in, even though he knows that there's a bunch of tables set up between the entrance and the bar. He kind of just bolts through the center of it in a beeline and knocks one person out of their seat. A small halfling off of his seat. He looks up. Pablo turns toward him. You see his face go white, and he just slowly like gets himself back up and hangs his head low. Pablo continues, and you see Uslega turned around, reaching up and grabbing a barrel from the top shelf with her bare hands and just lifts it off.
He's just gonna be like, Saga, I'm home.
Pablo, darling.
He just sticks out the flowers.
Oh, you know they're my favorites. She grabs it from your hands, holding the barrel in her left hand up just by itself. Takes a whiff of the flowers. Ah, delightful. And puts them
Seeing
into
her
a
like
small pot.
lift the barrel one-handed, Garrick just looks over at Sebastian and goes, 80 times, huh? You had to learn your lesson 80 times?
And I just walk straight to the furthest table facing away from her, just like stare at the wall, just murmuring to myself.
She notices Sebastian and Garrick enter in, and Sebastian goes to the back of the tavern, and you hear, Sebastian!
I just
It's still no.
I just like wave and just keep going.
Garrick walks to the front. So, why have you guys arm wrestled so many times?
Oh. He keeps asking if the carpet matches the drapes. And I won't tell him.
Did you bet him an arm wrestle that if he wins that he would know?
I told him he could see.
Oh.
So he kept trying, but maybe one day.
How many drinks does it normally take to get him to be persuaded to arm wrestle you?
She leans forward. 3.
I'll buy him 3. And I put some money down on the table and slide it over. 3 drinks his way.
Would you like any as well? Yours on the house.
I'm okay for today. We're actually here on some orders.
Lasagna tonight.
Oh, there is that.
For real? Bring me some, hun.
And if I remember smelling right, it smells like Pablo had some very fresh ingredients from the market this time. They smell very, very well.
Made noodles from scratch.
Tantalizing. Well, hopefully we don't have any more incidents tonight, and I should be there.
That's actually why we're here. We were told about the incident, and we just wanted to inquire a little bit about what happened.
Oh, yes. And she actually reaches over, grabs the top of the barrel, sets it down onto the floor. She was holding it up the whole time.
I shudder hearing the barrel hit the ground.
Well, what can I help with?
What exactly happened last night? What started the whole disagreement and fight?
Oh, apparently one of the usuals bumped this gentleman. He was a few drinks in. He kept paying. I wasn't going to cut him off. He seemed like he could handle it. A very large, muscular man. Was hoping he would take me home.
Pablo's just gonna grumble.
Sebastian just starts rocking back and forth.
Her muscular hand, she rubs Pablo on the shoulder. Don't worry, hun. It was a little shorter than you. But one of the usuals bumped into him. Next thing you know, his head was in my wall. As she points over, and there's just a hole in the wall all going outside.
Rumor has it that they don't use any weapons of any sort. Is that true?
No, as you know, when most of the sailors come in, I have a no weapons inside policy. They didn't have anything, but I watched him pick up one of the others and throw him out the door from here. She points next to the bar, which is a good about 30 yards from the door.
So we're dealing with some very strong individuals.
Yes. But the woman, her presence, ever since she walked in, I felt as if she wanted to fight me. The
My ears
audacity.
perk up.
She wanted to fight you?
I'm not sure, but it's her presence as soon as she entered the place. Might not have been me, it might have been everyone.
And I say this loudly, loudly enough for Sebastian to overhear this. Was she a pretty woman?
Gorgeous, drop dead, bright red hair. I'm sure that matches the carpet.
Sebastian just like immediately stands up. I must
Very
find her.
lean. She had a a fur cloak on. She took it off when she got in, wearing what looked like battle armor. I don't know why she was dressed that way, but very tribal almost. But you could see the lines of her muscle from across the room. But she was dainty.
Oh, very interesting. Did they happen to say where they were going or where they came from?
No, I thought it was quite rude. They didn't even say their names.
Very good. Well, after we have a drink or two, we might we're gonna shove off then and try to see what we can't find for you, and see if we can't bring these 3 people to justice for you.
Oh, it would be lovely. If you do have more questions, Dwan over there, he was in the tussle. You look over, sitting next to the table next to Sebastian, is a sailor with two tankards by him, with his head on the table. He was in the tussle. He might have more information for you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sebastian just grabs like one of the tankards and like tries to wake him up.
The 2 of you start walking over to Sebastian, but you see Sebastian get up. You can tell he was listening in. He walks over to the sailor with his head on the table, Dwan, and he begins to move one of the tankards away from Dwan, and you just see Dwan lift his hand and put it on top of the tankard. That's mine, friend.
But we're friends. It should be mine now.
Friends don't take from friends, do they?
But you have 2 tankards.
Have any of the tankards that I bought gotten to Sebastian yet?
No. She was talking to you, so she hasn't had a chance to bring him over. Okay. Dwan has his hand on the tankard still. You see his other hand come up and smack the other tankard, and it lands on the side. Nothing spills out. That one's done.
Oh, my bad, and I let go of the tankard.
His head's still on the table. What can I do for you, friend?
So I heard you were in quite the kerfluffle last night.
He lifts his head up quickly. Those bastards were cheats!
I just like grab his hands and go, tell me about the redheaded woman. Tell me of her beauty.
Oh, she was gorgeous, friend.
She will be mine. Can you tell me anything about her friends?
Yes. One of them is here right now. I'm too afraid to go over. I don't know if the others are nearby.
Were they prettier than me? I don't care about if he's here. Was he prettier than me?
I wouldn't say prettier, but the large one was dashingly handsome.
I try to flex.
He has probably 100 pounds on you. I'm sorry, friend.
Ugh, a heathen. So one of them's here right now?
Shh, keep it down.
I eagerly just like look around to see if I see a redheaded woman.
You don't see a woman. You recognize a couple of the usual patrons in. 2 you don't know. One in the back of the room with a hood over his head, and the other a gnome sitting by the bar. White hair, balding on the back of it. His feet kind of dangling off the bar stool.
I pull out my lute and start playing it.
Have we arrived at the table by now?
Yes, you had gone toward Sebastian's table, trying not to break the conversation, but listening into it. You sat down, and Uslega has brought over the 3 tankards.
So,
Pablo's just going to push the tankards all over to Sebastian.
Sebastian, I heard you wanted a hair of the dog, so I took the liberty of purchasing you some tankards here.
Well, that would be hairs of the dog, not hair of the dog.
Well, I
I started
figured more was better.
immediately.
You look back over at Dwan. His head's back on the table, but you see the tankard has also gone under the table, and you just see him bring it up to his mouth. And you just hear.
I get about halfway through my tankard and I say, "Cheers to my good friends." And I have my tankard in the air waiting for you guys to cheers.
And I go, yes, and I grab one and I cheers it to him, but I don't take any drinks as he takes a drink of his.
Pablo's just gonna hold up his new mug and just be like, ah.
Do you do anything with the mug?
Just gonna hold it up and just cheers him and then just hold it.
All right.
There's no liquid in it, so.
Nope.
So Sebastian, if I heard correctly from the conversation, one of the people from last night is in the corner.
I finish just polishing off the tankard and start pouting. Yeah, but it's not the sexy redhead.
Well, I'm so sorry, my friend. We'll continue to look for her. And as I slide my tankard to him that I haven't drinking out of yet.
You didn't toast me, and I get all upset and keep drinking more out of it.
Well, I think what you could do to really suffice your time is you could go and try to figure out if the carpet does match the drapes again.
Since I've only had to, I just glare at him. How about you go, Mr. Strongman?
No, I'm going to actually go see if our friends in the corner fancy a game of chance.
Mutter to myself as I continue to drink my second tankard.
Pablo's gonna pull out his cards. His playing cards he's got.
And I've got dice, and I fumbly throw out dice.
Beautiful. And then as Pablo pulls out his playing cards, I look at Pablo and do you mind if I make a few alterations?
She's gonna toss it to him.
Okay. So I have in my little inventory, I have a forgery kit. So if the DM would so graciously allow me to do this, I'd like to kind of mark some of the cards so that I can remember where they are, but make it so it's not notable. They're not it's not an obvious slash or anything, but just like tiny little details that I would notice while dealing cards.
Like the card version of Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
I have minor illusion. I could try to mark the cards.
Well, I have Thieves' Cant as a rogue, so I was seeing if I couldn't try to use that to my advantage.
Yeah. So you make small iterations on a few of the cards for you to keep an eye on. And so you're walking over to the gentleman in the corner?
Yeah, and I'm bringing the dice too, just in case he wants to play dice instead of cards. And try to multiple options here.
I get super excited because you've never taken the dice before to do any gambling with. And I start drinking the third tankard in excitement.
It is about midday now, about 3 p.m.
So I head over to the table and I kind of casually sit down with there was a gnome and the hooded figure, right?
The gnome was by the bar. The hooded figure is at a table by himself.
So I'll sit across from him and say, "Hello, friend. I don't suppose you'd fancy a game of chance?" As I lay the cards out in front of him.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. Small bets here and there. A little bit of fun. No harm, no foul.
You're not trying to cheat me?
Well, now, friend, why would I do that?
What kind of game are we talking?
How about a simple game of blackjack?
Ooh. What are we wagering?
You tell me, friend, what are you willing to gamble?
First, tell me your name.
Yes, my name is Garrick. I've been in the town for some time and have some fun connections when it comes to the world of gambling.
Well, never heard your name before.
What is yours, if I might ask?
How about we play for that? You win, I'll give you some information. I win, you give me some information.
That sounds like a mighty fine deal, my friend. So for this first game, I turn the deck the opposite direction so that I can't see my thieves can't. I intentionally turn them away from me so it's a fair wager.
Okay. And give me one. Actually,
Good time to take a break.
Let's take a short break, and we will get right back into this game.
Do you want me to
Say
bring?
about
Do you want me to actually bring like a real deck of cards?
Yes, I was going to ask you to bring
Okay.
a deck. I'm going to get a deck.
Cool.
I got Star Wars ones.
I have that
Same.
one too. But we'll take a. What do you say? 5 minutes.
Sure.
Perfect.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Out. Let me see. Would have been. Same. Yeah, I have it as names. Wait, what's up? Okay. Trying to figure out how to set. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How do you? Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, gotcha. So when he rolls, you, because it's like for me, it didn't change over. Yeah, how did you? Not letting. Yeah, I changed that. My for my picture. Then again, I am on. Probably will. Okay. Hey, Daniel. Here, really quick. So on the bottom underneath that, change that where it says "as" right next to. Change that to your. Daniel, have you had a chance? No, so just to the left of where it says sent, change that as, click that drop down and change it to. There you go. Perfect. They just wanted to see your picture because they have where instead of it saying names only, on the bottom left of their screen, they have it to where it's large so they can poke in. Hey Rob, do you know who Venomous Phenom is? Okay, because he is ridiculous at that. And okay, yeah, he's making it weird by flirting with across the two different profiles on the YouTube. No, we're not getting any Twitch chats. We are getting a ton of YouTube. And by the way, we are getting some quality fucking YouTube. I've got like 30 already. Yeah. Oh, and Ryan, I am going to set up a gaming channel. Yeah. Is it going to be 4? Yeah, but I haven't seen the playtest yet for... I don't know if they're dropping to 3 or if they're staying at 4. Okay. Well, so what I'm saying is I can pull in all 4 people's screens and I can have face cams going like we do with it. But I can actually, instead of showing the overall map, I can show one person's camera or I can show like, I can do all. Cool. All right, well, let's go back to yeah, I bought my my Elgato Low Pro one from well, it's $100. You're gonna pay $100. Nice. All right, we ready to go live? Right. Guys. And we're coming back in 5.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for waiting. I'm going to get right back into it. Daniel, you have your cards?
I do. I got him.
All right. Same. So he looks over at you and says, all right, friend, deal him out. Let's see if I'm lucky today.
Deals the first card. Deals the 2 cards to him, and he's got a 5 and a 2 versus my face down and a 10.
I yell goldfish in the background.
Hit or stay, my friend.
So for him,
He's a total of 7.
Out. Yeah, I'll deal out.
Okay.
But I'll tell you. I won't tell you. So he's keeping it to himself. Obviously, you know the 1.
Sure.
But we'll do 5 and 2.
Okay.
Hit. All right.
Deal says.
Stay. And he flips it over.
All right, then. So as deal, he flips his. He's got a 10 and a 2, so must hit as dealer. 22. I deal a 10 to myself. I bust. Your win.
He played an ace. So tell me, why are you here?
Why am I here? Is that what he said?
Yeah, why are you here?
So one of my compatriots who I live with, they are great friends with the tavern owner here, and they wanted to stop by for a simple ale, as well as a potential arm wrestling match. You might see one here in a moment.
I yell for Oozlog.
Right there, on cue, actually.
I'll be right there, honey.
As he chuckles to himself.
No other reasons?
No, that'd be the reason for today.
All right, roll me a deception check.
Do.
Okay. Oh, this is a nice place after all. So, doesn't surprise me. Think he'll lose again?
Probably. He's 0-80 at the moment.
Oh my god.
Yes, and if you'd like to play again, we could play for the reason as to why he's so keen on winning this game.
Might ask some other questions, but yeah, deal her up.
Okay.
So you flip it, face up 2. Hit.
Deals a card to him.
Hit again.
Throws another card down.
I'll stay.
Well, all right. So for me, face up 8. Hit. I think I'll hit again. 21. Black.
19. Ask your question.
How long have you been in the city yourself, my friend?
This city? 2. Little more than a month.
Little more than a month? How are you liking your stay so far?
Ah, love it here. There's so much to do, so many people to see.
I could not agree more.
Plan to stay a while.
Very good, very good. Some great places to see and some great things to do. I can tell you that much.
Feel like playing again?
Sure. So this time, Garrick is going to turn the deck so that I can see the thieves' camp.
Okay. So for this, I'll have you deal.
Okay.
As you say, yes, he puts down his hood. He has long, light brown hair down to his shoulders, just a little past. A full beard. He's thinner. His beard and hair seems a little oily. Thinner frame. He has orange eyes with a slight, almost glow to them. He's wearing leather armor with a hood and cape behind. Deal him out.
Well, all right, my friend. So he deals out a 9 and a 3 to him.
Hit.
Deals out a jack. So he busts.
Damn.
And then he
Not
flips
my
his
luck
card.
in this one.
Garrick will flip his cards and reveal that he is already at 16 and where he will stay.
Not much of a chance taker, are we?
No, especially if our one opponent has already busted. Not much of a chance to play.
As I hear that, I like get up, like I throw my cloak off and take my shirt off and be like, "I'm ready. Do the carpets match the drapes, my dear?"
Before I ask you my question, let us watch the mayhem. As Garrick just kind of turns over to look.
As she's walking over, she also has another tankard for you and sets it down. Let's see if you can find out. And she's like just drops her elbow on the table with a thud.
My elbow makes like no noise whatsoever.
Pablo's gonna just whistle.
Yes, I am quite attractive, Pablo. Thank you. Thank you.
He's gonna take one of the empty mugs and just chuck it at you.
We're not gonna buy you another one if you keep throwing them.
Her hand just reaches and grabs yours, just almost covering it entirely. You have the softest hands. I love it.
Maybe they'll explore your body one day if you're lucky.
If you are. Let's see if you've been working out. Roll me an athletics check.
It's so justice. It's so justice.
With her with her modifier, she slams your hand on the other side in a split second. And your hand actually hits the tray she brought your drink over on, and your hand is just dented in the tray.
Pablo's just gonna reach over and pat him on top of his head.
81 it is.
Well, let me know if you want to do it again, darling. She gets up and walks over to the bar.
I like rub my hand crying. I didn't stretch, that was the reason why.
You watch it as she walks away, and you see one of the usual sailors kind of lean back a little and puts his hand up, and you just hear as they high five.
One of these days.
So Garrick turns back to his playing mate and he says, "Well, as for my question, what's your name?"
You play dirty, I see. But sure. Let me see here. My name is Kreis.
Can I see if he's like telling the truth? Like, can I roll like an insight or something like that just to verify?
Yeah, roll me an insight.
Okay.
You can tell he is telling the truth.
Okay. Well, Christ, it's great to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Why don't you do
Garrett.
me a favor, my friend? Why don't you do me a favor, friend? I know of a much better gambling spot in town where there's some more action and information to be exchanged. Why don't you meet me there later tonight?
Maybe I could invite you to an even better place.
I'm listening.
Meet me down at the docks after sunset.
Sounds like a plan, my friend. I'll see you there.
He gets up, puts his hood over his head, and walks out.
So I stand up kind of casually and walk back over to Pablo and Sebastian. So I see your arm wrestling match didn't go so well.
No, 81, but one day I will beat her.
Well, while you were trying to figure out what someone's hair looks like, I actually got us a tangible lead.
I just like stand up on the table. All part of my ploy. I lost on purpose.
No, it did create a rather interesting break from the game to ease any tension, so maybe it did serve its purpose.
I give the thumbs up to the barkeep.
She puts her hands over her lips and blows you a kiss.
See, I've been setting up for this day. 80 times I've lost. 81 times I've lost for this very moment. All part of my master plan.
I'm sure you did, friend. I'm sure you did. So, what I discovered though was that he wants me to meet him later by the docks for some gambling experiences. So
My friend.
I think that might be our best lead so far, and his name is Christ.
I've been to the docks many times. You're not going down there for gambling.
Possibly not, but I think it's our best lead at the moment.
Well, let's go see what that wizard has for sale. Don't we have some book or something to go retrieve from him?
Well, we need to see what books were taken from him. So, DM Rob, do we have time to like make it up to the Wizard's Tower and then back down to the docks, like before the sunset and everything?
Yes, you have a few hours.
Okay, cool.
And dinner.
I put 2 gold on the bar as I leave and say, "Till next time, my love."
I keep telling you, try some curls. I hear they're for the girls.
I'm more
And
of a leg
maybe-
day man myself. Flex my calf.
She does look down, and your favorite pants. You squeeze your thighs and calves. The fabric stretches a little bit. My. But she puts her big hand on your chest, kind of swipes down. Not until you beat me, and pushes you back.
Just like fall lovingly out of the door.
Can Pablo pick up Sebastian?
Sebastian, do you let Pablo pick you up?
Pablo, I never thought.
Well, it's more of a physically can I question.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you, yeah. So you
Just
go to pick
gonna
Sebastian
grab,
up.
twist, curl, put him back down.
I tell you, Pablo. Shave a little, maybe.
I'm gonna roll
He's
with
just gonna like
disadvantage.
go like
my
this to his
self-esteem.
scruff.
I'm afraid of catching some ticks.
Don't worry, Pablo. I know the best hairstylist in town. Like, flick my hair out.
Oh boy.
Probably
Well-
just gonna roll his eyes and laugh.
I'll see you dolls later. She turns around and walks back to the bar.
You two have such an interesting competition for that woman's affection.
Imagine what those hands could do, my friend. Imagine what those hands could do.
I imagine with you, many things I'd rather not know about.
I wouldn't be waking up for coffee, that's for damn sure.
Oh, goodness. To the wizard!
As Garrick turns around, his cheeks a little red. He points up as he's walking out.
Which way are we taking? The long way or the short way?
I look over at Pablo and I say, is the ride still offered? Because I'll go the short way if the ride's still offered.
Need time for dinner.
Oh, I guess that is true. Do you want to head back to the house to finish up dinner for our guests? Since we now have multiple guests coming over for dinner.
Guests that provide us alcohol and good trades.
Yeah, it's true.
So, Pablo, do you let them go to the Wizard Tower while you go finish dinner?
As long as he has a babysitter.
Yes, of course I'll babysit him. Don't worry about it.
Oh yes, me. I'm the one who needs it.
Yes. You're not man enough to arm wrestle yet, even.
Besides,
I
Pablo
think I
doesn't
just
like
know which battles I'm willing to be a part of and which ones I'm not willing to be a part of.
Yes, a real man sports arm wrestling.
Oh, my finely horny friend.
Also, I feel like Pablo and the wizard wouldn't get along. He's not really
Not much of a book person.
Bull in a china shop.
Words are stupid.
Alright, to the wizard as we head out.
So are we taking the long way now or the short way? I'm not carrying you up that hill. My
Well, then
pants
I'm
will
not
get-
going up the stairs. I'm going the long way.
All right, so Pablo, you head back toward home, and you two are going the long way?
We'll go the short way. We'll go the short way for sake of time.
But I don't want to rip my pants.
You
These
won't
are the
rip your
special
pants.
ones.
They're fine. They won't rip.
All right, so you guys head down and make a right, passing one of the gates to the docks. Through this gate, leads out to the shipping yard where your own vessel is docked there. You pass by the gate and pass a few of the houses, including the Slayers Guild Hall, which is right here. Mm-hmm. You pass the Slayers Guild. It's very quiet. You continue on, and you get to the base of the mountain and just look up at this over 100-foot tall staircase going up vertically up the mountainside.
Oh boy. What a climb.
I guess it's leg day. I start like stretching.
And away we go.
All right,
Do you
you
have a grapple
two.
hook or anything?
Let me see. No, but I do have a short bow and some rope.
I whip out my hand crossbow. I'm like, well, I'll have one of those too. This doesn't do us anything.
It looks like we're climbing, friend.
I mean, I could turn myself into an eagle or something and fly up there, but
Then I'll see you at the top.
that would be no fair for you. All right, let's go up the stairs.
Do you care to wager a race?
I look down at my pants. Not in these bad boys.
All right, fine.
So the two of you start to climb the stairs, going up the first set. A few steps in, and Sebastian, the alcohol begins to have you swaying a little bit as you start climbing. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Flat?
Yep, just flat.
Okay.
Okay, so you center yourself, and the two of you begin walking up. Garrick, you keep walking and have to stop every so often as Sebastian is very carefully walking step by step up. You get 6 sets up, so you're about 60 feet up on the staircase, and it's mostly vertical, so you're able to look down 60 feet down. Sebastian, you start getting dizzy.
I reach a hand to like grab him and try and like keep him centered.
So do you hold his hand and carefully walk up the rest?
Yeah, I keep a hand on him.
Okay.
You might win at arm wrestling yet.
Taking your time going up the stairs, it ends up taking over 40 minutes for you to walk up these stairs all the way to the top.
That's not bad on that incline.
You usually do it in 20.
Yes, but I'm wearing the fancy pants, Gene.
Fancy pants. So you guys climb up the staircase on the side of the mountain. Pablo, you head back home. Do you take the housing district back, or do you cut through the market again?
Housing district.
All right. So you pass through the housing district. Everything's fairly calm. You pass by and see a bunch of people out moving around. A couple of the commoners doing some gardening. As you pass through, you also pass by one of the guard posts. So there's a few guards stationed there, and the armor smith. You walk by and you see a male Goliath, a very stout built. He has one long piece of hair. The rest of his head is shaved, braided down into a long braided ponytail down his back all the way to the back of his waist. He's not wearing a shirt. You see his tattoos, very tribal swirl tattoos down his body, and one across his face on his cheek, coming from the top of his head down and swirling around his cheek, hammering a piece of armor. You know him. Find it here. His name is Ati, and he's just hammering away at his anvil.
He's just gonna be like, "Morning."
Ati looks up at you, looks at the sky. Evening?
Late start. Making dinner.
Ah, long night.
Babysitting Sebastian.
Who was it this time?
Red tiefling. Stole a mug.
Saw her leave. Nice.
Pablo's just gonna reach around and like swing his new sword around and just be like, new.
His eyes light up. He takes the piece of metal off the anvil, sets his hammer down, and runs over. You can see him kind of like shaking, like his hand shaking as he like touches the sword. And he's excited. He picks it up with both hands perfectly fine and kind of like twists to look at both sides. Do you mind look close?
Gestures.
He takes the blade over to his shop on the outside. You see he pulls out a scroll from his from one of the pouches on his belts, where he has his tools lined. He lays the scroll on the blade and puts his hand on it. You see the scroll disappear and a slight glow go over the blade. He picks it up. Nice. Do you know?
The Muffin Man.
I'm so glad someone else said it out loud.
I
It
knew
took
it was
everything
coming.
in my soul.
I knew it was coming.
I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
This road is indeed named Dreary Lane. He hands you back the great sword and says, enchanted, elemental, in blade.
Talks to me.
Careful, fire, burns, wielder. But strong bond.
I have Gift of the Chromatic Dragon, so I don't have to worry about that fire.
Do not know what is gift.
I'm just gonna, like, my arm is gonna be tattoos for my gifts. That's how I'm gonna explain things. And he's just gonna show his, like, different tattoos. And it's be like, powers.
He puts his hands over his tattoos. Powers. He hands you the blade. What's cooking today?
Lasagna. Scratch.
A little.
Extra if want.
Yes, please. Over a few hours.
Probably. After sundown.
Sounds good. Hammer need.
Probably just gonna nod and be wave by.
He waves and walks back to his anvil, puts the piece of metal back on the anvil and starts hammering away again. And do you just go back to home now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you get home, and you kind of look over the sword as you get into the kitchen. Do you know you have a few hours before people would show up for dinner? You don't need that much time. Do you want to spend some time and attune to your sword?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. So you take some time doing that. Going back to the other two. So the two of you spend a long amount of time climbing up the stairs. You finally get to the top, and on the last step, Sebastian begins to lean back from the top. Garrick, you reach out and grab onto his arm and pull him back.
Oh, take it easy. Stay stable. Stay stable.
I'm just fine, my dear. And like just try to walk forward.
All right. So the two of you get to the top of the stairs. At the top, you see the Crypt Keeper's house to the right of you, and you're at the gates to the graveyard. The gates are closed right now, but you know they're always closed, but not locked.
Got you. All right, well, let's trudge on through. We just kind of open the gate and start a walking.
I close
All
it
right, so-
behind us. As we walk through, I close it.
As you close the gate behind you, you like just peer over and see the Crypt Keeper's house. And as you do that, in the window you can see him looking at you, and he nods.
I tilt my hat to him.
And then he closes the blinds to his window. You enter into the graveyard. Everything's very organized. All of the gravestones are lined up in straight lines, almost like a grid. On the four corners of the graveyard stand large crypts, and there's pathways that are straight roads throughout the graveyard.
I'm just heading straight through to get to the wizard's house.
I'm just following him, so.
All right, so you cut through the graveyard, walking through to the other side. You know the quickest way. You open the gate and close it behind you. You know the Church of the Light is right outside that gate to your right there. You continue on down that road and make a right. You pass one of the major libraries of the city, passing the portal tower, and end up at the what is it? The Council of Wizards for Lyalisk. A large establishment made of stone. The roof is flat on top. No actual set roof to it. And you, out of the top, a portion of it is opened, and you see from there a large, almost like sentry to it, but a telescope coming out from the top of the building.
I just go to the front door and give it a little knocky knock.
You hear from inside, "Come in."
Good to see you, old friend. Is this the one guy's house, or is this the whole guild?
This is the guild's building.
Okay. And what was the wizard's name again that we're looking for?
Igegru.
Igegru. Yes, I'm here to inquire about Igegru. We've heard there was a recent disturbance at his home.
Oh, yes. He's upstairs. He has the telescope out right now.
All right. Thank you very much. Come along, Sebastian.
I wipe my feet as we walk in to show courtesy.
What a proper man.
Thank you. I trust you. You probably remember the way.
Yes, thank you. And head up to the telescope.
All right. You walk through the building, and the back side from the entrance, there's two spiral staircases that go up to the second floor. You follow those up, and then on the western side of the building, there's a almost like a pole elevator that takes you up to the telescope room. You go up there, and you see a wizard with long white hair, wearing purple robes adorned with different markings in silver. Down it, and a few stars near the top. He's wearing a large hat, which the point of the hat actually, the backing of it droops down to the middle of his back. You see his long, he's a high elf. His long ears point up, touching the rim of the hat on both sides. He turns toward you, and he has a mustache, 2 points that come down, drooping down his face onto his chest.
I kind of nudge Garrick and be like, see, you can dress nicely too one of these days.
I'll stick to practical over looking nice.
Ugh.
Well, we can't all be fantastical, friend. As he smiles and walks up to you. What are you here for? I was just doing some studyings of the stars.
Well, Kneebreaker stopped by our house earlier today and told us about the small intrusion that you had.
Was that a dwarf joke?
Maybe.
Because it was great.
Sebastian laughs a little too loud.
I love that you always love my jokes, Sebastian. You
They're the
have a
best.
true sense of humor.
Yes.
All right. So the intrusion, yes. What questions did you have?
Well, this will obviously stay off the record, as per usual of our conversations. What was taken from you?
His smile goes away, and you know this side of Egegru. Things I can't name.
Igegru, we can't help you if we don't know what we're looking for.
Pop a button to seduce him. Are you sure you can't tell us?
Roll me
Clumsily, like trying to like do something cool with the telescope.
Maybe we could see Uranus later.
I throw a book at you. You're ruining it.
You could always throw in the I'm home making lasagna.
We'll keep that in the back pocket.
the back pocket. Real quick, Sebastian, just say, roll me a persuasion check.
Yes. Oh, that one rolled pretty low, but
All right. For the last time, Sebastian, no. Please get your hands off the telescope. But, okay. I can only tell you about 2 of the books. The third would put implications toward the guild, so I can only, on the record, tell you about 2. One is a charter that we have listing some of the magical beings in the land. And the other is a study on shapeshifters done by our guild specifically. But that's all I can tell you.
Well, Sebastian's usually better with these things than I am because, well, he doesn't talk to the city. So I'll leave you 2 to your conversation. And Garrick sees his way out.
Sebastian, was there anything else I can help with?
why are you so interested in shapeshifters?
I am not. It was just in our collection.
And did you see who stole these books or anything? Or it wasn't a fiery redhead, was it?
I wish. No. Though. He strokes the mustache and kind of brings them together. The two long pieces of it brings them together. I do like redheads.
Who doesn't,
Let's go
right?
with them.
Team Redhead.
But no, we did a study a ways back, and We learned of different kinds between lichens, changelings, dopplers, quite a few different kind. We documented what trigger most natural-born ones, ways to turn some curses, enchantments, things of those like that create shapeshifters. Does that help?
Sebastian's kind of like still by the telescope, kind of just strutting around. Yes, deeply, my friend. Thank you for your time. We'll try to find your books for you.
And he catches you by the arm as you walk by. May I ask your intrigue of shapeshifters?
I just want to make sure whoever I sleep with is the real deal. I don't want no phonies. And I like just bow and like dip my hat off.
Roll me a deception check.
It's perception.
Understandably. I would hate to go to sleep with one person and then wake up the next day with the other.
And as I'm like getting to walk away, and I just kind of lean over it. Do red-skinned tieflings count as redheads?
She had black hair.
But she had red skin. Pablo,
No,
you're
that's
not
a
here.
whole different. That's a whole different ball game. Be careful.
So I'm gonna say she was a little hot to the touch, anyways. I gotta give him a handshake and leave.
And as you leave, you hear him yelling back, and Garrick, you can as well. If you find my books, bring them back, please.
I have a library card. Don't worry.
Garrick just kind of redips his head back in and says, that third book, so we know what we're looking for. Colors, anything, so we can help locate this thing?
Dark purple, gold lacing, and not of a language you know.
Those colors are fantastic. We must go to my tailor. A new cloak indeed.
Oh, here we go. All right. Thank you, friend. We'll bring your books back.
And you guys leave and begin to walk out of the building. You pass by the front table, and he puts his arm out and stops you. All right, you guys know the deal. What is your tribute for the wizard's information?
All right. I was hoping we could walk past you on this one, but here we are. Fine. And he brandishes the tome of the book on Dragonkind with the signature from the author.
I smack it out of his hands. Nope, you may touch the arm of a man that's lost 81 times in arm wrestling to a fair maiden. And I just stick out my hand.
If you don't get out of my way to that book, I will cut your arm off, sir.
I challenge you then to a duel. Throw the white glove. Have you not seen this maiden? She is one of the fairest in the land.
Sir, I
She
do not
would avenge
care
me.
about your maidens. I've given up women long ago for knowledge.
Ugh, a sad life indeed. Go ahead, have fun with your books then.
Some could say the same about you, sir.
I pick up the book that was slapped out of my hands and I go to hand it.
He grabs it out of your hands. It'll never be in mint condition now.
I bet it won't. I bet those pages will get quite sticky soon.
Oh my god. Anyways, we'll be on our way. Thank you so much. Drag Sebastian hastily out the front door.
I'm like just like glaring at the dude as we leave.
Garrick, next time, come alone.
The
I
other
tried.
dude thinks I'm cool.
As you're yelling, as Garrick is just pushing you out the door.
Will do, friend. Sorry.
Ugh, he's your friend?
Listen here, Sebastian. I call everybody friend, whether they're not or they are.
You never
It's
call
just a
me
simple-
friend. You just call me babysitter or the dumb one.
No, that's been Pablo. I haven't called you the dumb one yet. I call you the horny one.
Oh. But still not friend.
You are my friend, Sebastian, but you're actually my friend.
Ugh, I'm not walking down those dreadful stairs in the middle of the night, by the way.
Well, let's just use the teleporter. It's right here.
Let's go to other cities. There's no teleportation in our city.
Watch this. Okay. Do a barrel roll.
Garrett,
I mean,
you do know a guy in the portal tower.
All right, I go see my guy. Go see my connection.
The Garrick just tells Sebastian to follow him. You walk into the portal tower. You walk over and you see a gnome sitting at the front desk, kind of like a check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And his head's down in a book behind the check-in desk. The desk also has a wooden protection gate in front of it. He's looking at the book. Where to?
Home, friend. Home.
Garrick! Long time.
How are we doing? What's his name?
Vasimir.
Vasimir, my old friend. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Did
Just
we
home
make-
this time?
Yeah, we made the arrangements correct to get it to pop into the study.
Yes.
Perfect.
Behind the bookshelf, you set it up, correct?
I did, yes.
Perfect.
And this time I fixed the rune from last time that, the head slamming. It was quite painful. It was really not fun.
I told you. The rune was set up for a gnome. I apologize.
It's okay. I mean, we just got to make sure we communicate about these things, These are important, but I appreciate your work.
I test it. It works for me. But yes, upstairs, room 2 on the right. I'll set it up.
Do you want
thanks.
lasagna tonight, by the way?
Oh,
He
we
looks
are
over.
making a very tasty lasagna tonight.
We're not making anything.
Well, Pablo is.
Pablo is.
Pablo's lasagna?
Pablo's lasagna and fresh ingredients from the market.
Oh, how could I say no? Free of charge today. Garrick, just put the lasagna through the rune. I'll open it in 2 hours.
Understood.
You see he reaches over, pulls a lever. The gate to the rooms, to the staircase up to the room opens.
We start to walk through.
I tip my
You
hat.
He nods, and as you walk through, you hear the door shut behind you, and you go through. You go upstairs, and go to the room on the right, open, and there's just a glowing portal, blue swirl to the center, standing there. The portal is open.
All right, come on, Sebastian. And I step through the portal.
I reluctantly put 1 foot in and kind of just slowly go through it.
Both of you go through the portal, and you find yourself in your study.
God, take your time.
See, it's good to know people and call them friends, Sebastian.
I call everyone friend.
Well, you might want to work on making some connections instead of just hounding down all these women.
Oh, I make connections, all right, my friend. We're gonna have to get one of these set up in my room.
Oh no, I don't think that would be a good plan.
You walk through the portal of this conversation and open the door to the study, and you just get a huge whiff of the lasagna. It smells fantastic. It's filling your home.
Oh, that smells heavenly.
It does smell quite good.
Pablo, are you almost done? As I call as
That's
I
go-
walk.
Just need to broil.
Oh, beautiful. Have our guests arrived yet?
I haven't seen anyone.
All right.
All right.
Garrick
And
starts
you know
to
you
set
have-
the table with like plates and forks and all that good stuff.
Pablo's
you
gonna
doing-
like reach across on his and adjust the apron on his sword, and then grab the mug behind it to like set out for himself.
The two of you enter into the kitchen as you're talking to Pablo. Pablo's getting everything ready. You grab plates, not even seeing it at first. You begin grabbing plates to go set the table, and you turn and you just see Pablo standing. The sword is in the corner of the room, stood up with an apron on it, and on the hilt hangs a big white chef's hat.
Pablo, why does your sword have an apron?
It's an artist.
He's my friend.
Oh boy. Okay.
Does he
All
have a
right. You know
name?
what?
You go to adjust the apron, and as you do that, you put your hand on the hilt, and you just hear, "Broil for 30 minutes."
Good idea. He like taps the sword and goes. It like sets the timer.
And Garrick, you didn't hear any of that. It was just to Pablo, mentally through the sword. So you just hear Pablo tap the hilt and say, "Good idea."
You know, sometimes it's better to just not ask questions and accept things as they are.
That's how I live, my man. It's a glorious life.
Does our house have possibly a wine cellar?
Of course, it has a wine cellar.
It does have a wine cellar.
All right, Garrick's gonna head down to the wine cellar and pick out a couple bottles of wine for the guests coming later.
All right, and Sebastian, you go upstairs to put on your clothes, your outfit for when guests come over.
Yes, and the finest instruments.
And that is where we will end the first session of the Bandit King.
Nice.
Nice.
So next time we will have see all the guests that show up and see what that mysterious man wants to meet with at the docks and see where everything goes. But thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Next episode will be just here in a couple weeks, and we'll see you next time.
And you're out. Dude, we got so much interaction. Got like all of your friends and created alt accounts, and then they were yelling at each other with their alt and making shit weird. Yeah, you guys is friend. Got a couple more subs on Twitch. A couple of my buddies. Yep. We're on. Yeah, I've got 70 right now. Man, I'm a good moderator. Yeah, same thing. All right, well, have fun. Thanks. Later. Yeah. Can you? You got to show him your Shaggy impression too. Yeah. Fan content, man. Fan content. Oh.